Hello there, folks. My name's Great Mighty Poe. It's been a while, hasn't it? So yeah, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I've been really busy, which is why there has been no streams, no nothing, for quite some time. Trying to find 4 hours in a day to just sit down and stream is apparently quite difficult. Particularly when I've been dealing with low motivation, just tired all the time and all that. But I did want to do something for Nightreign because I do really enjoy this game. If you want my review, I love this game. This game is great. 8 out of 10? Yeah, 8 out of 10. We'll go out of 8 out of 10. That's pretty good. So, yeah, I want to do something for Nightreign. And I know some people have some trouble with the game, particularly playing it solo. I myself have managed to solo every single boss with every single character already. This was early on in the game's release. And I was dealing with some crashing quite frequently then, and now I'm no longer dealing with that crashing. So I'm in a bit more of a stable situation to actually sit down and record actually playing the game. Because when I was crashing, it was constant, and it was very annoying, and it made it very difficult to play the game. So, yeah. Hopefully it's something that people will be interested in, because I know my videos helped people out in the past with installing mods and stuff like that, and I will potentially do some tutorial stuff for Nightreign in the future for mods. Let's go with these. But right now, I just want to solo the game, again, with every character. So we're starting off with Wylder, because obviously he is the first character, and we're just going through the tutorial. This will be part 0. Just sort of explaining what's happening and all of that. Right, let's grab these. Right, let's see. You will notice when I go into my menu, you can see it is paused. I will mention that before people accuse me of cheating. I am using a single mod. It is the pause mod. Just so I can talk about things. It makes it much easier to tutorialize things. Sort of go, hey, this is what this does, and this is what this means, and I can be a bit more helpful when I can pause. Also, it means I can just pause and go deal with, I don't know, Jonah screaming outside the door, which she's doing right now. Not actually going to go let him in, because he'll come in and then one out again. But, yeah. I do have pause mod installed. That's the only mod I have installed. Obviously, still quite early in Nightraign's life cycle, so not many mods anyway. But there are some, you know, ones you can use to cheat, which I don't like cheaters in this game. I have been playing a bit of multiplayer, and I have been seeing quite a few cheated relics and stuff. I'm not the fan of cheaters. Cheaters drive me insane. Just getting into a match and seeing someone's got cheated relics is incredibly frustrating. Right. Oh, yes. Slap. Yes, get out of my way. Thank you. Awesome. So, I've not really been explaining much in this tutorial here, because it's just a tutorial. It is completely optional. You can actually just go here and end the tutorial. I only just noticed this today, by the way. You can just go straight to roundtable and skip the tutorial entirely, but I do want to try and beat Morgott, simply because he is Morgott, and you do get a free rune for doing it. So let's look and see what we've got, see what we can do to maybe make defeating Morgott a bit easier. So we do have this Rougier's Rapier with multiple periodic glint blades. You can see the red hand symbol. You can see that red hand symbol a lot. That means this effect is only applied if it is actually equipped in your main 2 slots. These are your 2 main slots, what's actually equipped to your character. So we'll shift this one over to here. So we'll get those glint blades in. And I'll get those glint blades in. I'm not too sure where that sentence was going. Also, I'm going to use this cold guitar for the frostbite. That's pretty good. And I'll just leave the rest of these in just where they are. So we have improved jump attacks, we have the glint blades. So yeah, the red hand is in your hand, but every other one is active at all times. A lot of people in multiplayer, and also I think in solo, tend not to fill up their slots. Fill up your slots, you know, might not be helpful, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, I'm just using the cold guitar because frostbite, and the glint blades because free damage is free damage. You can see my character hasn't changed because paused, but when I exit out of this, there we go, cool. And we're going to deal with our one entire revive. I'm not going to be playing online because of that pause mod. I know not to go online with mods. And, right. Where are you, Morgott? Hurry up. Oh, right, yeah, Duchess has got to get in here. Duchess in here. Where is he?
I have thee now. Tell me. Doth thy no? I will.
Yeah, I got my ult.
Dare.
Hey, Morgott, eat that. Got that frostbite. There goes Morgott going absolutely crazy. Ow. Oh, let's grapple into him. Okay, now it's tutorializing me that ultimate up, because we got ultimate up there. Thank you very much, game. I did really funny. Oh, high-pitched co there. Really funny how they decided to give us Morgott instead of Margit. Because Morgott is a lot harder than Margit. Have a fire bomb. Boom. And also, they try not to give us too many major bosses from Elden Ring, so there's still a reason to play Elden Ring. I need to stop talking. So it feels a bit weird that we get Morgott, not Margit, because we get Godric, so he's Stormveil, which is early enough in the game. But Morgott is blinged out. He's really amazing. Okay. Yeah, sorry, Duchess, I am not helping. It is way too risky when dealing with Morgott to try and help an ally. Unless there was another person here. The roll catch. We'll get another frostbite proc. It might be good, but we're not doing the best. We've got another flaskin, which is good. You do randomly get flasks while here, which is nice. You spend your time fighting Morgott. It's a bit of a weird tutorial though. Morgott is definitely not a tutorial boss. But you're not really meant to beat him anyway. So. You just keep doing that, don't you? I'm gonna stand behind this pillar. You can't get behind this pillar. It's gonna be bad. Going. There goes our passive. So, hey, another heal. Awesome. Thank you. And that's why I use the clip blades. Very, very good. Will Duchess get herself up, or she's crawling towards me very slowly? Would I help her? Yeah, I should help. And we'll sit in the chat. Awesome. Also, yeah, I have got the controller thing up on screen, just because it is helpful.
Long, long ago, the lands between were visited by a great war. The Shattering, as it was known, destroyed order itself. Drawing forth in time an abomination. Thus fell upon us the night. Now, heavy rains harry the region, threatening to wash away its very history. The Nightlord does not rest. As it ravages the lands between beyond recognition. But there are those who would fight back. The Nightfarers. Brought together by happenstance, their commonalities are but few. No shared station, era, or even purpose. Yet together, they are bound by a will. The will to cross the endless night and fight on. Till every shred of their being is ground away. Alas, the curtain may be drawing to a close upon this world. You are awake. I know not why, but once again it has happened. So be it. Condemned, I welcome you to the Round Table Hold. I am the priestess, the voice of your formless master. You were chosen for your potential to vanquish the night. The Nightlord is a living cataclysm, bent on laying waste to the very land that anchors us. Unless we bring its end, our world will be undone. And for this, I need your help.
Right. In Round Table Hold now. Also, I have turned the control thing off just for cutscenes. I'll leave it off now for now as well. Not really much to do here in Round Table. Sorry if you had a bit of moving around during the cutscene. Billy, my cat, decided that it was a great time to sit beside me and start crying to be let out of my room. So I had to do that. So sorry about that. Right. Let's talk to the priestess.
This is a hidden refuge, a place where warriors gather. Rest assured, though it is in disrepair, you will be safe here. We even have a caretaker. He might strike you as odd, but he is worthy of trust. Speak to him, if you please.
So yeah, so this is part 0, I'll be doing sort of all this stuff. Part 1 will be when we actually do the expedition, so yeah, still do all this talking stuff, because it is... I guess it is important to a tutorial, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. I am really winging this. Like, I just decided this last night I was gonna do this, so yeah, sorry about how off the cuff this is.
Speak as you wish.
So what does our formless master have to say?
This message is for you. You will hear it often. Seekers of redemption. On the third night, this land will fall. Band together and prepare to claim the life of the Nightlord. That is all. Oh. Regrettably, I have no means to fight. It might strike you as presumptuous, but I am in need of your help all the same.
She had no means to fight for now, but yeah, we'll see more from the priestess later.
Speak as you wish. This message seekers on
Okay,
the
yeah,
third
she's got nothing else to say
together
right
a
now,
life that is
so
all
we'll
wrong.
just get back
Regrettably,
to
it might strike you.
awesome. It's not clear, because the game is really bad about doing it. It's kind of... everything in Nightreign is happening in an instant. Like, because time itself is being melted away by the night. And so our past is getting melted away, which is why our characters all have memory loss and why they gotta remember stuff, and that changes things. And yeah, it's all very convoluted, very confusing, this game, but it is very interesting. Because it can kind of slot into the Elden Ring timeline, and nothing changes because it all happened in an instant, because time didn't exist, and did exist at the same time. It's really weird, convoluted, and I love it. Let's talk to the Guardian. If you're wondering, by the way, I will be going through each of the characters in order. So I'll be doing Wylder first, then Guardian, then Ionai, then Duchess, then Raider, then Revenant, then Recluse, then Executor. I believe that's the order. I'm 90% sure.
I am always ready to fight.
Yes, indeed you are, mate.
No matter how towering the beast we face, stand your ground and raise your shield. Be patient. Your window of opportunity will come.
So, I guess while I'm going around, I can talk about each of the characters and my opinions on them. I haven't talked about Wylder yet, I'll talk about him, sort of, I guess, at the end. So from my experience, having soloed already, Guardian is actually one of the tougher characters to solo the Nightlords. Simply because he is a very defensive-based character. He's really good in multiplayer, but on his own, he really lacks for damage, and that's really, really important solo, is being able to kill stuff quickly, get as many buffs as you can, to be prepared for the final Nightlord. Because if you are sort of lower in level, it can be particularly tough, and the longer a fight goes on, the more likely you are to make a mistake, and yeah, Guardian is definitely one of the tougher Nightbearers. His skill is okay against mobs, it's not the greatest, and his ult is definitely useful for reviving teammates, but it doesn't do the best damage because of that. So in solo, where that doesn't have that utility, it's definitely not as strong. He does have a really good passive though, his Steel Guard, where he can dodge into attacks with his shield up to brace for it, and then, you know, attacks that would normally send you flying when you're blocking, he will just be able to stand his ground against those, be able to do guard counters. He is really good with guard counters, so he is a really, really fun character, definitely multiplayer, but solo, yeah. He is a bit tougher. He'll be interesting because he'll be the second one we get to, and he is definitely the character one of the characters I struggled with the most. Not as much as the magic characters, Revenant and Recluse. Those definitely harder, but because of his lack of damage, he is definitely a tough guy to play as, and he's a tough guy as well. But I will say that his tankiness does come in handy. You can make a lot more mistakes as Guardian than you can with someone like, say, Duchess. So yeah.
I am always... I can't believe it. Facing off against the night itself. If such is our fate, we must rise to the task. I am always... I've trained with halberds before. No expert by any means, but I can hold my own.
So yeah, most of the characters have some form of unique moveset with a particular weapon class. For Guardian, that is halberds. He also has a particularly unique thing with halberds. He has a charged guard counter, which it takes a lot of stamina, which is a bit of an issue with Guardian. You really need as much stamina as you can get. But those charged guard counters, they are really, really good. They can stance break pretty well, so they are one of his main methods of dealing damage. So, you know, Steel Guard, charged guard counter, dash Guardian. He's, you know, solid, well built. Which is kind of a bit strange because, you know, birds have hollow bones, I think, so he shouldn't be really all that tanky, but maybe he's different. I don't know, he's opinion folk, he's a bit different.
I am all... I can't believe it. If such is...
Okay. Where's everyone else? Okay. Looks like Ionai's out there. Obviously, Revenant isn't unlocked yet, so we can't talk to her. Won't be able to unlock her until after we beat our first Nightlord, but we do have Recluse here. So, before I talk to her, I'm going to talk about Recluse. So, she is the character I would say is the weakest for solo play. Just simply because her skills are more suited for multiplayer, much like Guardian. So, her skill, her magic cocktail, really cool skill. But a lot of the animations are quite slow, and remembering all the combinations can be quite difficult as well. It can be pretty powerful if you know how to use it properly, but I find in solo play it's quite difficult. Obviously, trying to get those cocktails mixed up properly takes time. It takes time to pull in the essence, and takes time to then cast the spell that you've made, and all of that just makes it really difficult to use in solo play, so I barely use her skill in solo personally. Definitely multiplayer is a lot more powerful. And her ult I also find has a particular issue. I don't know if it'll be fixed, if it is actually an issue, or if it's just a skill issue on my part. But I have found that the end of her ult, there's a period where she cannot move yet, but she is vulnerable. So I have had a couple of runs where I have died as Recluse, simply because I was stuck in her ult animation at the very end. Add on to that, her ult, it doesn't last very long, the actual effect, and it doesn't do much damage either. Like, that's the other thing. It's a very low damage, it's very much a utility sort of one. It's really good for your teammates. So as a solo character, she's not the best for those. I forget what her passive is. I believe if I check the codex here. Thank you, codex. Let's see. There we go. Oh yes, so the when she pulls an essence for the cocktail, she gets FP back, which is useful. Obviously, FP is limited. There are only a couple of ways to get FP back. You have your Starlight Shards, which are found in the Mage Towers or randomly as loot. Or if you get the Maris Invasion, then your Flask will restore your FP as well. So having a good source of FP is particularly useful, so it's a nice passive. But I do find that I tend to have enough FP anyway. It's not really much of an issue because Starlight Shards are pretty easy to come by. Obviously Merchants as well, there's plenty of Starlight Shards. Not much of an issue, but it is, you know, helpful to have more FP, I guess. I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember, so I'll just talk to her now.
Wishes thou to converse?
Also, I will say, just because she's the weakest doesn't mean that I do not like her as, you know, a character. Like, all the characters are all very fun to play with, and they all are very cool designs, they all stand out in their own ways, the different niches they fit in. Some characters like Recluse here are really bad solo but great in multiplayer. You have the opposite end of that with Executor, who in multiplayer struggles to use his skill, but in single play does really well with it. So I do like the mix of characters and the mix of solo and multiplayer they've got going. It's a really well balanced roster of characters, and I quite like it.
We must put the night sky to rights, to see its beauty once more. Wishest thou I believe myself skilled in my craft? Wishest thou I...
Okay. And that's all from Recluse. She's a very cool character. Very interesting storyline with her as well. We will do the Remembrance quests as part of the tutorial series as well, so yeah. Raider. Raider is the strongest solo character, in my opinion. He's really tanky, and he has really good damage. He has really good skill. He has a decent ult. He's just really solid. So I will actually use the codex because it does tell things a little bit better. Should have done that for, so yeah. Guardian, we can see the Steel Guard, the Whirlwind, and the Wings of Salvation. Recluse, we had the Soul Blood Song, the Magic Cocktail, and Animal Defense. So for Raider, his passive ties into his skill. A lot of people don't like Raider's passive tying into his skill, and some people don't even understand how his skill works because it's not exactly explained very well. So with Raider, his skill is a punch, essentially, or a headbutt. I'm not too sure what exactly he's doing during it. But you cannot die during it, so you'll get knocked down to 1 HP, potentially, but you'll never go below that, which is fantastic. It's amazing. Very few things can knock you out of it. The only thing I know of that can knock me out of it is Ancient Dragon Wing Flaps, with the wind going everywhere. that can knock you out of it. It's quite annoying. Another reason to hate on Ancient Dragons. And yeah, it's just, you can just do it if you want. Also, if it successfully lands, you get all your stamina back, which is amazing for Raider, because he's going to be using a lot of stamina because he uses colossal weapons. Obviously, his weapon of choice is colossal weapons. He uses colossals, great axes, and great hammers, all three having the same moveset, so any big weapons he's good with. Going back to his skill, is passive. That's where the sliver of HP thing comes in with the Retaliate. And also Fight with Resolve, taking damage boosts Retaliate's potency. So if you take enough damage over time, he'll get a smoky effect around him, and that'll let you know that Retaliate is powered up. When you do Retaliate when that's powered up, it does a lot more damage, like a lot. It can break things that normally ults can break, so for instance Libra, he's got that bubble shield that normally you need an ult to break, or to break the sigils. You can break that with fully charged Retaliate. Statues around the map, I believe you can break those with it. It is incredibly strong. And it has the same perks as normal Retaliate, so you can't be killed while using it. Can't be staggered out of it except for very rare occasions. It's very powerful, it's very, very good. And then his ult is the Totem Stellar. It just chunk of damage, leaves the thing in the arena that you do damage, well, leaves the thing in the arena that you get buffed around. Like, you just fight around it, you do bonus stuff. I don't really know, it's not really explained here what exactly the buffs are, but you are buffed while around it. It's good for allies as well. And that's what makes Raider really good, is he's really good solo, but he's also really good multiplayer, because that Totem Stellar, get an Iron Eye on top of that, and they're going to be getting headshots all day long. It's really good. So we'll go chat to him. He's definitely not my favourite character, but he's definitely the strongest solo. My favourite character is Iron Eye, if anyone's wondering. I'll get to him a little bit later.
Care for a drink? A fine beast we're facing this time. Well, take it as a challenge. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, very, very headstrong Raider. Fun fact, if you look at the internal stats for the characters, no matter Raider's level, he always has 3 intelligence. So, don't try and use spells on him, but yeah. He may not look it, but he is actually pretty wise. He does give some good advice to Duchess during her Remembrance quest, so yeah.
Care for a drink? The night is nothing to be afraid of. It is only the setting of the sun. Care for... The best weapons are the ones that require unvarnished might to swing. Let me at him. The bigger the better. Care for a drink? The best weapons are... Let me at him.
Yeah, bigger the better. Definitely. Right, I think out here... Oh, we have the Iron Menial out here as well. He's not a Nightfarer. He's just the one who takes care of the Round Table hold. He's a very cool character though. We have Executor, obviously painting, as they always do. ... He paints a depiction of the Erd Tree. It does not yet look finished. So, yeah. Executor doesn't talk outside of the Remembrance stuff. So, yeah, very quiet character. Was a Crucible Knight. We'll find out more about their backstory during the Remembrance. Have a look at their skills. So, Executor. So, Tenacity is just a... I don't know, it's kind of a bit strange. I guess if you get Spooku, you can proc Blood Loss on yourself to get the boost from it. But yeah, just recover from the status effects, you get boosted attack, stamina recovery. I guess it's useful. It doesn't really come into play too often. Their skill is probably one of the most interesting and most fun skills in the game. At least for solo. It's not very good in multiplayer in my opinion. So you draw a special sword, it can deflect, and the deflection is very fun, it's very cool. Guard counters out of it, and you get a charged up Ash of War. You get all sorts of really cool stuff with it. But you really need enemy aggro to be focused on you, and that's something that Executor struggles with when using the Cursed Sword, is keeping up enemy aggro. So in solo, obviously all the attention is focused on you, so it's great. In multiplayer, if they're focused on your allies, there's not much you can really do, unfortunately. So you're just going to be standing there blocking, and the enemy's going to be going for your poor Revenant who is getting slapped around the corner. Like, it's not the best, unfortunately. It is very cool, though. His ultimate art is very, very, I guess, unique. It stands out amongst all the other ultimates in good ways and bad ways. So you transform into a giant beast. The issue is you are vulnerable as a giant beast. You have double health, I believe, and it fully heals you when you do it, which is fantastic. But you can still take damage while in that form. You can still die while in that form. You can still be staggered out of certain attacks while in that form. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, which I guess is kind of the point with Executor. And yeah, I will say that the Axis Crucible Beast, it is the most damaging ult potentially in the game if you can stagger an enemy with it. But if they just continue on through it like some enemies do, you can end up getting killed pretty quickly. So you have to be a bit careful with it. It's a very interesting skill though. Right. While we're here, because I know Iron Eye's hanging out a bit far away, we'll talk about Iron Eye. So Iron Eye's passive is just, you have better item find. It's just generic, it's great. In multiplayer, it applies to your allies as well, so it's really good in multiplayer. His skill marking is fantastic. It's an iframe dodge that marks your opponent, which makes it so they take more damage. And if enough damage builds up, the mark bursts, does a chunk of damage, and a chunk of stance damage. And if you damage the weak point, it keeps going. You can reapply the mark if you keep up the damage. It's really good. It's absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best skills in the game. I'd say it's on sort of par with Raider's skill in terms of just being overall useful. And then the ultimate art is single shot. It's just a really, really powerful arrow, I guess? Yeah, it is an arrow. It goes through terrain, it does a lot of damage, it destroys terrain, it's just a really powerful shot. It's like Wylder's ult, it's just a really powerful attack, essentially. Yeah. We'll go have a chat to them in a second. By a second, I mean right now. My voice is struggling a little bit, I'm getting a bit of an itchy throat. Yeah, I know he's over here. Sounds like my dog is back.
I think I'm good to go. You only need to land one good blow to punish a fleet-footed adversary. Be relentless. That's your best bet. I think I'm a supremely vexing opponent indeed. I've had to face shifting targets before, but never a natural phenomenon. I think you only need to land. Be relentless.
So yeah, Iron Eye is my favourite character. I'm not the only one who likes bows in From Software games. I've always been pretty weak, but Iron Eye makes bows pretty damn fun. And the marking is just incredibly fun. Oh, drinking tons of water at the moment. Still getting over a bit of a bug at the moment. Sorry about that. Right, next character is a character we're currently playing, as I've talked about Wylder and his skills yet. So, Wylder, his passive is just incredible. I think it's the best passive in the game. You just cheat death a single time. It resets whenever you go through a Site of Grace, or if you get revived? Yeah, by the looks of it, yeah. Don't really... It's one of those ones you just don't pay attention to when you're playing. It just goes off and you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So you just... If a hit was going to kill you, you iframe out of it, backflip out of the way, and gives you a chance to heal and recuperate. It's really good, it's really solid. Claw Shot, really good mobility skill. Can pull enemies to you, or you can be pulled towards enemies, depending if they're, quite big. You can also just use it on the ground to, claw shot around the place and get places faster. It's fantastic. And the ultimate art is Onslaught Stake. It's just a big chunk of damage. You can either not charge it to keep it at your ult gauge, or charge it to unleash more damage. It's fantastic. It's really good. Wylder is definitely just the most middle-of-the-road, generic, solid character. Out of all of them, he doesn't have really any weaknesses, but he doesn't really have any strengths either. Like, he's the middle of the road, I'd say. I did talk about Guardian being one of the ones I do struggle with a lot, and being one of the harder ones, alongside Recluse and Revenant. We'll talk about Revenant when we do unlock her, by the way. But personally, out of, you know, my personal ranking for solo is Raider, Executor, Iron Eye. Duchess is also not unlocked yet, but she would be tied with Wylder. Personally, I go back and forth on where to put them. They're sort of about the same. Then Guardian, because he's tanky. Then Revenant, because she has her summons to help out. And then Recluse, just because her skills are very good for solo play. And yeah. I think I've killed my voice enough for now. This was meant to be just a short part 0 while I sort everything out. But I don't think there is too much more we need to do. Yeah, so I hope you're looking forward to the rest of these. I'll try and rest my voice for a little bit, and then I'll get started on the first part. So you're probably going to see part 0 and part 1 come out around the same time, hopefully. But yeah, I hope I haven't rambled too much. This was quite a lot of talking. I did a lot more than I expected. You know, 40 minutes almost. But it is sort of, I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, so it is good to be back. So the actual videos will be probably a little bit longer, because obviously got to do the full expedition. But sort of part 1, I'll sort of explain the character and what their skills are, and then go off and do the first expedition, and then the rest of them. The rest of the next 7 will be a bit more streamlined for them, and they'll do that for each character. So won't be as talky as this episode was, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully you're excited for the series. I know I am, because it's been quite some time. But yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, guys, and have a good one.